Don't mind me, just picking some flowers. Yeah. You know, as knights do. Okay. Let's keep moving. And that music is beautiful. Oh. Okay. How's our sword looking? 92? That's fine.
Good day to you.
Hi.
How about some more advice on sneaking around in Troskowitz?
You've come to the right man. You're as clumsy as a blind dog and about as inconspicuous as a cow at a banquet table. You've got a lot to learn.
Wow.
I focus mainly on my diplomacy skills.
Talking your way out of a bad situation can definitely come in handy. But who knows if you'll be able to reach the end of your journey without drawing your sword or sneaking around. What do you want to know? I'll try to explain it as simply as I can.
So I'm going to rip through this. I know all this, but we get experience for doing all this. So I'm just
What
gonna
should I
rip
wear
through
to
it.
be in...
Something dark. It won't exactly command respect. Just don't go wearing... You have to be like a ghost.
Okay. I'll stay
I've
quiet.
been known...
Only a fool goes robbing in full armor.
Take off your gear.
And tread lightly. Not only will you not make a racket, but you just might hear the fella in the other room get up to take a piss.
Oh, fair.
Well, a weapon in hand won't do me much good.
Seems like everyone does nowadays. All you need in your hand is a lockpick and a bag for valuables. But best to keep your hands free. If you get caught where you're not supposed to, neither a dagger nor a lockpick in hand will look too good.
Oh. Huh.
How should I handle light properly?
Most guards and people you meet at night are either blind or
Hey,
drunk.
Elaine. My pleasure.
The night is your friend. Stick to where the light doesn't shine. Dark clothing help out as well. And only a complete idiot doesn't put away their torch while robbing. And if you know how, brew yourself a Nighthawk.
So the torch does matter.
How should I plan a robbery?
Most people have the same routine every day. Pay attention to people's behavior. When you get to know your victim and where you're sneaking into someone's house, try a back window. Don't go for the front door.
Cool.
That's all. I have that document from the rat house for you.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you.
I even managed to get my hands on the key to the chest with the confiscated things.
Very good. Give that to me too.
Well, I thought it might come in handy.
Come on. Give it here.
Fine. Here it is.
Wait.
Judging by the contents, it seems like you're dabbling in alchemy.
Did I just give him my sneaking stuff?
That's not a bad guess. But don't forget about astrology, theurgy, transmutation, and a smidgen of demonology. Although that's something anyone with a grain of sense should avoid. Now show it to me,
Hey,
so I can finally get the knowledge. Good. Good. This will come in handy. Ah, yes, of course.
What now?
That much? We're going to need more. A lot more.
Did you hear me? What now?
Sorry. I got lost in thought. I owe you my thanks as well as reward for getting me the document. And maybe another little job? What do you say?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. I need to get to that wedding in Semine.
Don't worry. Your path is leading that way. Only it'll be a little longer than expected.
These are all like the same thing.
Another miller's trick. Why doesn't that surprise me?
Now, there's no trick. I promised I'd get you into that wedding. You'll just have to put in a bit more effort first. Besides, things are about to get really interesting. Step by step, we're moving closer to the great revelation.
Enough. I'm sick of listening to your cryptic blabbering. Supposing you first initiate me into the mysteries of your enchanting mill. This isn't any run-of-the-mill business, so to speak. I smell something devilish here.
Devilish? Not at all. You guessed it. It's nothing less than high learning. Alchemy! And when I say alchemy, I mean real alchemy. Not some hocus-pocus brewing of potions for creaky joints and bellyache.
Tell me more about it, then. Maybe I'll learn something useful.
I suppose. You are my apprentice, after all. You deserve to know what all of this is leading to.
I do.
Now, pay close attention. I want to make a golem out of dough. Then, using secret alchemical practices in theurgy, bring him to life.
A golem, you say? Isn't that a kind of pie? What are you going to do with a living pie?
Henry, a golem is a helper brought to life using divine words. A living statue endowed with massive strength. Can be made of clay, wood, stone, basically anything. I'll make one out of flour. Studying the Jewish Kabbals taught me a practice known as Maseh Bereshit.
Oh, God.
A mystic can use it to imitate the work of God. Just imagine. You know how helpful a golem would be at the mill? Carrying sacks.
Bro.
Pulling wagons. Standing guard. He wouldn't be much smarter than Zinek.
Helikov, yep, you sure do.
10 men.
My word. That sounds incredible. I have to see it.
I do.
So far, it's just all in my head. But if you're patient and help me, you'll see soon enough. It's in the interest of the advancement and prosperity of mankind. Just look at the Bible. Moses could command the waters and speak to God through the element of fire. And Jesus brought the dead back to life. I've no doubt that if our great Holy Mother Church had been around at the time, they'd have crucified Jesus the same as the Pharisees. And all the apostles would have been burned at the stake.
Ah!
So a golem, you say, made of flour?
Heresy.
For the good of mankind?
Exactly.
And what about the good of me? You promised me a reward.
You already know that you can learn the practical application of certain useful skills from me. But for a few groschen, we could discuss the art on a more, let's say, theoretical level.
I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. Supposing you give me a few groschen first, as a reward for bringing you the document, and then I'll decide whether to trade the coin for some learning.
Oh, see now, I completely forgot. Here you go. So you don't go around saying that Miller Crazel is a pinch purse. I added in what I owe for those sacks you carried. And if you want some more work,
5?
there's
6?
plenty.
Okay. Hey, perk point, nice. And 45. Yeah. Oh, he gave us a book, though. A stealth book, maybe.
What's this next job all about?
I need to find a saltpetre pit.
Never a wasted word, eh, Crazel?
Short and to the point. That's my credo.
And how long will it take before you tell me what a saltpetre pit is?
A saltpetre pit is a pit in which saltpetre is formed.
This has something to do with the alchemy of yours, eh? I don't know much about that stuff.
Nitra is saltpetre. White crystals similar to salt.
And what needs salting here in the mill? Or is it supposed to be some peculiar Crazel wedding gift for a young Semine?
Nothing of the sort. The Kabbalistic doctrine speaks of saltpetre as a vessel for the inexhaustible essence of life. Those white crystals are said to contain the very essence of being. That's precisely what we need to give life to our golem. Thanks to the ingredients from Hermes Trismegistos, his feet will never get tired, and his fists will have the power to smash rocks. But saltpetre is the most important thing. Saltpetre will be the golem's heart.
So you're serious about this golem? And are you certain it'll work out?
Certainly. Otherwise, I wouldn't even try.
How much saltpetre will it take to bring to life such a big creature?
A lot. That's why I want you to find me a decent saltpetre pit. Do you understand?
I was hoping I'd learn something useful from you. But instead, you're making me wander around the countryside looking for some pit.
Well, you never know when an experience like that might come in handy.
Okay.
All right, then.
We're doing this, man.
I'll look around for
Titanius,
that
I know, right?
saltpetre pit of yours.
This guy's
I
kind
just hope you know where to look. That you can point me in the right direction. And also that you'll get me into that wedding as a reward.
Yes, yes, and yes. Bonnie has a lead. She's a damned handy girl to have around. She can do anything you ask of her. But for you, the most important thing is that she knows how to look for niter, or saltpetre if you prefer.
So this Bonnie, she's a dowser or something?
Bonnie is someone I trust without question, and you should too. Not only will she teach you how to find saltpetre, but also how to differentiate it from common salt. The main difference is it has kind of cooling taste.
Hold your horses. You want me to taste that nasty stuff?
If you don't taste it, you could confuse it with some nasty rot. And you don't want that.
Damn right.
Don't be such a lily-liver, Henry. If Bonnie can taste saltpetre, so can you. She'll tell you the rest herself. You'll find her in the lair. That's a secret storage space I have here just by the pond. Only my best people can get in.
How can I get to this lair?
There's a bridge over the mill stream towards the southwest. Take the path to the left, just behind it along the pond. From that path, you turn right, uphill, between the rocks, and you'll find yourself right in front of the lair. You can't miss it. Oh, and so I don't forget. You could pick some herbs along the way to see Bonnie. It would make her very happy. She's just been through some tough times. Her dog died, and on top of that, she has to spend time with that blabbermouth Zinek. On the other hand, Zinek might be holding his tongue for a while after his encounter with the Troskowitz stocks.
If Bonnie spends time with Zinek, she may want some spirits rather than herbs.
Bonnie?
Heyo.
Never. Being a decent Christian, she avoids alcohol like the plague. Run along, so you're back as soon as possible.
To the lair.
To the lair. Oh, wish I could pet this puppers. Let's go.
What was that noise? Woodcutters.
Oh, wait. Now I'm confused. I'm supposed to pick herbs on the way up, but she might be dying. I don't even... I'm gonna get a bunch of this anyway. Damn, this is farther than I thought. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh. Hello? The heck? Wait, is this not it? Oh, no, it's further down? Do I go up here? Oh.
You...
What is going on?
Take care, friend. Careful.
What was that sound? I want to talk to him. Okay. That was weird.
Why do you work for the miller?
Well, how can I put it? Anywhere else, they'd have kicked me out by now. The miller's the last person who'd still give me a job. He says every idiot is of some use at least.
And you see that as a compliment?
I see a coin in my hand every week. That's all I care about.
What did you do before you started working for the miller?
A bit of this, a bit of that. When I was still a boy, I stirred lye at a tannery, and then I slaved away at a dye house. But since I came to the town, it's been, well, let's say not exactly honest work. But that's what I'm best at, see?
What do you think of Crazel?
Is this some kind of test or what? I can think what I want, and I keep my opinion to myself. And you ought to do the same.
Long time no see, eh?
Crazel gave you another job.
Yeah. I proved myself to him last time, so why not continue our collaboration?
Did you come here to make fun of me? Just like Bonnie? As soon as she showed up, she gave me hell over that manuscript.
No, not at all. I just need to find out something only you would know. So, Zinek, have you any experience with saltpetre?
Oh, I never want to see that shit again. I still have the taste of it in my mouth. And Bonnie and me was taking turns tasting it.
Weren't you afraid a dead soul would enter you through it?
What? What are you babbling about?
Dead souls pass time in niter crystals, don't they? That's why the miller is looking for them. To bring the golem to life.
You fool! We're looking for saltpetre to sell to butchers for salting meat. There's good coin in it.
Well, the miller told me something different.
You can't believe everything he says.
Wait, what?
Golem in the mill. He's yanking your pizzle.
You're all just trying to confuse me.
Crazel's a good teacher. You know how it is.
What can you tell me about Bonnie?
Well, you mean Cheeks or Jezebel?
Are those nicknames?
Dunger, Snowdrop, Vixen... We always come up with the stupidest names, and nobody sees through them anyway. Bonnie's been here the longest, and has the most experience.
Hey, Thrill.
I'm surprised she still puts up with Crazel and his mad notions. And I think she likes animals more than people. When I try to talk to her about work or weather, she gets bored.
What sort of place is this?
Our secret place, where we can quietly plot sneaky plans for our beloved miller.
Behind that boarded-up door? What's inside that cliff?
You know, storage, rubbish, rats, filth. Look, I know Bonnie ordered me to clean up in there. Thanks to you, I'm sure the movement of goods will start again soon. So it'd probably be good to have some order around here. I just haven't got round to it yet.
Zinek, I have a few questions about the saltpetre pit we're looking for.
So now you need me, eh?
Okay.
Take care, friend.
Can we go in here? Oh. Okay. Hi.
Lord be with you.
I'm Henry, Miller Crazel's new apprentice. He sent me to search for a niter pit and said you might be able to help me with that.
Of course I will. I'm Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Bonnie? It's not a name I hear often.
It's not the name I was baptized with. In our craft, it ain't a good idea to tell people your real name. That's why we use nicknames. What should we call you?
The Wolf of Skalitz.
Well, that's not very creative. You know what?
I thought it
I'll
was
come
great.
up with a nickname for you myself when I get to know you better. Did you bring me something from the mill?
Actually, Crazel said you'd appreciate some herbs.
He's right there. Do you have some for me?
I've got something here.
I mean, what you want, damn girl. Let me give her oh, except the mint. I want the mint. I have to make this girl's year. Bam.
My word, that's exactly what I need. The
Bam.
ingredients for the magic ritual.
What kind of magic ritual?
The kind where Zinek finally gets some sense into his head and stops making stupid beginner's mistakes. Just so you know, that mess with the author of Hermes Trismegistos would never have happened to me. Not me. While we're on the subject of rituals, did Krazel tell you about the Golem?
He did.
And what do you think of it?
But I think it's all a load of shit. Just some hocus pocus to cover up shameless robbery.
Well now, so you're a bailiff's man and you're on our trail?
No. It's just I'm not as naive as you seem to think.
Look out! Behind you!
Don't do it.
What?
Oh my god.
Just testing how alert you are. You know, if a golem punches you, you won't get up again. Whether you're naive or not. But that's enough of that. We're not going to stand here talking about flower golems when we've barely just met. I'd like to chat with you too, Henry. Get to know you a bit. But if you're in a hurry to find Krazel's saltpetre, I won't keep you.
No. I have plenty of time.
Apparently I need another beer. 1 sec.
But where to start?
You know what? I'll start. When they caught Zinek in Troskovitz, I was scared out of my mind that they'd catch me and clap me in the stocks. I had to hide out here for a while, so I haven't had anyone to talk to. Life in the lair isn't all fun and games. Zinek and all the other mill knuckleheads were never worth much as company. So I'm glad the miller's finally found a normal hand for once. You've got a beautiful dog. What's his name?
Mutt.
Mutt.
What a cute fella. How did you find each other?
He belonged to this girl I knew, Teresa. She saved my life in my hometown, Skalitz, when I went to bury my parents.
Well, that's what I call an interesting past. I used to have a dog, but I don't anymore.
He died.
He started getting these lumps all over his body. He stopped eating, just slept all the time. And then, well, what's done is done. And what about you? What kind of family are you from? Also...
What am I drinking, Elaine?
Thieves?
Tonight, Weeping Willow. Oh.
I found myself following the path of the night. My only brother now is my sword.
Oh, aye. Men these days solve all their problems in armor on the field, gouging each other's eyes out and hacking off each other's limbs. Where are the good old days when everything could be solved with a simple dagger stab or a nice strong cup of hemlock? Jesus, I sound like an old crone now, eh? And you know who else pines for the good old days? Krazel. What do you think of the old miller, anyway?
I don't know what to say to that. I still don't know him all that well.
I understand. Best not to bite the hand that feeds you for no good reason. Thanks for talking to me. It really is good to have someone to pour my heart out to. But now, about that saltpetre. Before you came, and before Zinek fucked up with the manuscript,
Whoops.
we collected saltpetre all over the place, mainly in sties. It has to be scraped from the walls. Horrible work, time-consuming and annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. We also looked in a few chests, just in case. You know. Anyhow, now all the sties in the region are scraped clean and we're sitting pretty on a nice barrel of saltpetre.
Barrel is quite a lot.
For the whole Trotsky region, aye. Unfortunately, Krazel said we need at least 6 times as much.
Oh.
6 times? Will one saltpetre pit be enough?
I reckon so. There should be as much as Krazel needs for his masterwork. If you're looking for it, you ought to know how saltpetre forms. Do you have any idea?
Certainly. You take a damp wall, like in a sty, you let the water evaporate from it, and you get this salty bloom.
That's right. But like I told you, all the sty walls in the region are scraped clean and we can't wait. Don't forget that saltpeter crystals are formed in places where something is rotting. It can be shit or carcasses.
Oh.
Well, a saltpeter pit is actually nothing more than a mass grave, the best natural saltpeter maker.
Crazel said saltpetre is a vessel for life energy. I get it that it's left over from dead bodies, but how do you get it from shit?
God's mysterious ways. You know how it is.
And he also wanted me to taste it. That's nonsense, though, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it isn't. Otherwise, you won't know if it's saltpeter or some other shit. It feels kind of cold on the tongue.
Jesus. And you know where to look for such a pit full of carcasses, do you?
Not exactly, but I have an idea. Times are evil and there's plenty of corpses. A person who's digging holes and throwing dead bodies into them and doesn't even know he's got a a saltpeter mine.
The local gravedigger?
Exactly. And the one we have here in the region is also the knacker.
Well, I haven't met him yet. Where can I find him?
The cemetery is beyond Troskovitz, towards the Apollonia rocks.
So I'm in for a walk to the cemetery.
Seems like it. Too bad you couldn't have walked around the county with us before. It was fun, and pretty useful experience. I learned a lot during that time, and I won't keep it to myself. I'd be happy to teach you something, if you want.
I'll keep that in mind.
Damn.
That old gravedigger will be suspicious, so I'd bring him some kind of offering. He's always dragging those carcasses, so I'm sure he'd appreciate a slab of fresh meat from Troskovitz butcher.
Good idea.
He lives
Okay.
a short way from the cemetery, so at least the meat won't go bad on the way. Lots of luck, the Wolf of Scarlets.
Why do you work for the miller?
Because he pays well, and don't care how much coin I make on the side.
You mean by stealing?
And he doesn't ask any stupid questions.
What did you do before?
I got by any way I could. Believe it or not, I started in a convent.
You?
Okay.
A nun? Well, why not? I was in the cloisters myself for a while.
Oh well, different people have different fates. But we all ended up here anyway, in the armpit of the world.
What do you think about Crazel?
You're another one of those that don't know if they should love him or hate him, right? Crazel is his own man. Once you learn to get along with him, you can't help but admire him a bit. But sometimes, he's unbearable as soon as he opens his mouth.
The characters have so much depth in this game. Especially their relationships between them, which is a lot of fun.
What do you know about the Troskovitz gravedigger?
He's a pretty tough old bird. He follows the rule, I'll treat you the way you treat me. And he appreciates when a fella's direct and open. But I probably wouldn't tell him everything about us.
So, Bonnie, the most honest girl I know, sent me. I'd like to see some dead animals as models for painting a church fresco. A scene from the apocalypse.
That might be a bit much, but you learn fast.
How was the saltpetre collection and tasting again? Sounds pretty disgusting.
It wasn't so bad. Zinek kept whining about it, but being a saltpeter collector, it has its benefits. When you go and clean someone's sty, they don't pay much attention to you and leave their purses and chests unattended. We made a pretty decent amount on the side.
What, by stealing?
Confiscating property for the greater glory of God. I hate the term stealing.
Just like Crazel.
Wow.
Tell me something more about Zinek.
He's Andy, that's for sure. But also a bit of a fool. To be honest, I don't care for Crazel's horseshit most of the time either. I do this job because it's fun, unlike Zinek. He does everything for his own good, doesn't give a damn about any greater cause or other people. Actually, he really pisses me off with his attitude. And he entertains himself by coming up with the stupidest nicknames for me. Dunger, for instance. What kind of a bloody awful name is Dunger?
Oh, lovely. And what does he call himself?
Scruffy. Or Jan, Nicholas, Franz, Peter, Jakub. The most bland everyday names. He tries to be careful, but then he opens his big mouth and fucks it all up, just like in Troskovitz.
What is this lair place?
Krazel built a store so all them honest, curious people in the mill, the likes of Hensel, wouldn't have to worry their little heads about what we're doing here.
You mean behind that boarded-up door in the cliff?
We're definitely not doing anything there right now. Because of the mess in there. I told Zinek to clean it up. I think he wants to see if the place will get so rotten that saltpetre will bloom on the walls.
Okay.
I heard you could teach me something.
Sure, why not? If you pay me, I'll teach you a few of my tricks. What would you like to know?
I know what a lockpick is, but I'm still not very good at using them.
All right, I'll show you something. But you need time for it.
Cool.
You
Man,
have
that
a
didn't
kind
even get us a
master,
level?
eh? Don't-
Oh, I think it did? This one. Rapid flight. Yeah, okay, good. Look at him getting a drink. That's so cute. I want to try some. You can't steal from her? There we go.
What are you doing? Help! Pickpocket! Do you want me to go for the guards?
I was going to say, is she going to try to turn us into the guards for pickpocketing? Okay. I think, yeah, we're good. Let's do this, man. We gotta stop by the butcher to get him some meat. Oh, encounter. You see a slightly shabby man. There's nothing remarkable about him. He's just standing there alone. He hasn't seen you yet.
Worthy sir.
How are you?
Very well. Fancy a chat?
I can't. I'm in a hurry.
You're not going anywhere. I'm gonna gut you and pick you clean.
You're in for an arse kicking, you piece of shit. Christ! It's fucking
Who am I fighting? What is happening?
Careful.
Dude, what is happening right now?
Stop fooling around.
Why are these carts here? Dude,
That's more like it.
who are you people? Who are you? Jar to the Great. Okay, I'm going to reload because I don't like how that happened. That was weird. You quick traveled into a caravan. Really? I don't even know what a caravan is. Okay. I think we're good. Oh, a beggar. The man smiles at you.
Good man. Hold on.
I'm hungry. We need to get some food. We'll pick up some meat from the dude we're going to.
Everything all right?
Do you have a moment?
What's going on?
Do you have any coin to spare?
Tell me, how come you're begging? What happened to you?
Allow me to disabuse you of your misconception. I am no beggar. I simply find myself in a bind compelling me to rely on the kindness of good people.
So, you're begging?
But I'm not a beggar.
Why are you asking for charity? Fancy an ale, eh? The amount you're looking for, it sounds like you plan on downing a whole keg.
That wouldn't go amiss, but really, I need the coin so I can travel to Vlashim.
That's quite a way.
I've always found it to be a day or two's ride.
But I don't see any horse.
I don't have one. That is true. I'll join a caravan, ride along, pay for my way, my provisions and such.
Begging, but not a beggar, and he needs money to get to Vlashim. Oh, I've come across a fair few beggars before, but none have ever said that to me.
Must be a coincidence?
Look, you can tell me what's going on here.
I can't. You're prying way too much as it is.
I'm not going to do you any harm. What would I get out of that? If you're some sort of thief, so be it. Do I look like a catchpole hunting down criminals? That's the last thing I need. If you tell me what's going on, maybe I can be of help.
My name is Odolen von Wottitz. My father is Albert von Wottitz.
So you're a nobleman?
That I am.
What really happened?
I escaped from prison.
Why were you in prison?
I was a hostage. My father fell out with a couple of noblemen from the League of Lords. This rankled them, so they ambushed me one day as I was running errands for my father. Then everything happened so fast. They detained me and sent my father a message. If your son's life matters to you, you won't make any trouble. He had no choice but to do what they said. These are tough times, eh?
How did you escape?
Well, I gradually figured out who was guarding me and when. One of the guards used to come into my chamber and talk to me from time to time.
You had a chamber? No dungeon?
No. You don't keep a nobleman detained like a murderer, waiting for the news. I had a room where I was guarded.
All right. Carry on.
Well, I steadily worked on that guard. Once he was convinced I wasn't going to escape, he stopped being so attentive, and I managed to pinch his key. Then I just snuck out that night, and that was it.
Sounds like you got pretty lucky.
Lucky or not, I had no wish to spend another moment in that chamber.
How long were you held?
A year? Perhaps a year and a half?
Wow.
Yes, that seems about right.
What are you going to do now?
My priority is to get back home to my family and discuss it with them. And I need to move fast before anything goes wrong.
You know what? Okay.
I can spare you a few coins. It's a lot more than I normally give, I have to say.
Thank you so much. May the Lord repay your kindness.
Do you know what? No one should forcibly be kept away from their family. And certainly not on account of some lordly quarrel. Take more. Here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Farewell. I hope you make it home safely.
Thanks.
Man, that was a whole lot of money we just gave him. This is, okay. Okay, we'll see what happens. I hope we're gonna maybe get some of that back later. Did I just get grifted? Almost assuredly. Almost assuredly. Let's go see what the heck. Actually, let's go over here. Actually, I'm gonna go and we'll do this tomorrow. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. We will, of course, be continuing this adventure tomorrow morning, and we'll probably do another 12 hours like we did today. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.